This is Greg Strange with the latest in our series of business vidcasts from the Institute of Directors. And with me is the IoD Director General, Miles Templeman. Miles, China, obviously in the news this month, the Olympics in full swing, and you've just been to China. Was that coincidental?
Well, I had to go over to talk to various people about the training courses we're trying to set up over there, which are making slow but steady progress. And I said, why don't I go to Beijing at the start of the Olympics? And it's incredible to see what that country is now doing and the effort, as we all know, that they're putting behind that whole Olympic thing.
But you've come back full of the ideas that people can do business with China, the opportunities that China offers, and not just as a cheap place to make things.
Absolutely. I went over to find out whether the economic miracle is beginning to unwind. And the answer is there's a little bit of a wobble. Growth rate is slowing, but slowing for them means back to 8%, not back to 0%. Inflation's running at 7 or 8%, so they are facing a few economic issues. But I'm more than ever convinced that they have the ability to handle them and that China represents for us the big opportunity for the next 20 years.
And the statistics are absolutely mind-boggling. 1.2 billion people, but 400 million of them actually enjoying, if that's the right word, a European standard.
Yes, the eastern seaboard really, from north to south, now is, I think, comparable with European standards. And if you go around Beijing, you can visit shopping centres that are as smart as anything we've got throughout Europe. So they are becoming a very big market in their own right, not just a low-cost producer, but a market to exploit for goods and services. And that, I think, is the next stage.
It is, however, a country far, far away and a people about whom we know very little. How do you best do business with China?
Well, there's lots of organisations, the China British Business Council and various other people to help you. And we can help people find those organisations. So contact us or look on the websites and so on. You've got to take it gradually. There's lots of examples of failures. But I think there are now increasingly lots of examples of successes. And China is very keen to do business. Although there's lots of concerns about human rights, repression, political control, and there's no doubt there are big issues there. But China wants to engage with the world. In fact, they want to be number one. And they are a market that we want to make the best of.
A market, of course, of 400 million is comparable to the EU itself. So we've suddenly got a doubling of the market out there. How best, though, again, to come back to this, to do business, because there are cultural difficulties and there are linguistic difficulties.
Yes, there are. There's both all types of difficulties, and I wouldn't pretend that they're easy to do business with. But the marketplace is there. If you research it carefully, work with the various organisations that do exist, don't try and go too fast, too far on your own. Look for the right partners. There are processes to do, and there are now many people out there doing it. I'm pleased to say British companies are really beginning to accelerate there. When I went over a couple of years ago, we were way behind Germany and France. Now we've caught up France. We haven't yet overtaken Germany. We're the biggest investor in China as a country, and more of our businesses are now forming trading links with them. So it's the place to go, whether you go through Hong Kong or direct into China. It's so interesting, and I think that the engagement with China is the best way to get them more on our values than all the criticism that we currently pour on them.